Before the printing press, books were copied by hand by scribes. Scribes were mostly accurate when copying down texts, but human error is inescapable. And thus, scribal errors naturally occurred in Quranic manuscripts. These insignificant errors, when spotted, were corrected, for the Quran has and always will be a living text. And so, scholars of Islam never paid these much attention. Until now, in the 21st century, when a man named Dan thought that he knew better.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Daniel Brubaker's corrections in early Quran manuscripts. And this book is basically a compilation of scribal errors which Brubaker collects and then argues that these are not scribal errors, but these are intentional examples of what the Quran is supposed to be. Now, this sad excuse of a book has been making the rounds recently. Some Christian apologists have been praising it as the next big thing. And of course, these apologists have basically not much of an idea about the fundamentals of textual criticism. Here are some clips.
What are my thoughts on corrections in early Quran manuscripts by Daniel Brubaker? My whole thoughts is simple. Get the research and get this book here. It's worth it.
We have been given a pre-published copy. You have got it. I have got it.
That's
Dan
right,
Brubaker
right.
is working with us on it. We're actually helping him to, before he gets it out.
What we find through Dan Brubaker's work is that some of these errors that he is pointing out to don't seem like mere scribal errors.
Book is available on Amazon. Please do buy it. Please read it, make use of it, and use it in the engaging with Muslims so that they can see unreliable of the Quran, which will allow them to hopefully give up Islam.
Now, in this video, I'm not going to be going through the book as a whole. I'm just going to be focusing on one specific example to give you an idea of how bad this book really is. The full refutation of the book is currently being worked on, and I'm going to let you know when that's coming out, inshallah. It's going to be coming out soon. So here's an example. Observe this verse. The only statement of the believers when they are called to Allah and His Messenger to judge between them is that they say, "We hear and obey." Now, Brubaker found a manuscript without the name of Allah. He then concluded that this was read as the only statement of the believers when they are called to and His Messenger. What does that even mean? Now, forget that it doesn't make any sense. Brubaker doesn't really care. He still argues that this was a part of the original Quran while admitting that it is therefore not clear what might have been going on in this sentence. But what about this, Brubaker? What about all the other manuscripts that have been written prior and around the same time as this manuscript that actually fit in with the current text of the Quran? What about those? Examples like this one, or this one. How about this one, or this one, or this one, or this, and finally this. You recognize these? I'm sure you do, since you've actually relied upon them for your book. Okay, so let's review. Brubaker basically ignores that the verse makes absolutely no sense, that it's grammatically inaccurate, and ignores all the other manuscripts that actually match the Quran that we have today, and yet will not concede that this is a simple scribal error. Okay, so if you're going to believe this, I can't really help you. Now you see, with this flimsy methodology, some Muslims could argue, not me, but some Muslims could probably argue that the Bible, of course, based on the methodology that you're using, Brubaker, they could argue that the Bible promotes adultery. In the year 1631, the royal printers in London printed the Bible with the following words: "Thou shalt commit adultery." Now, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say that this doesn't really make any sense, that this goes against the other manuscripts that obviously don't say this. The word "not" is supposed to be there, but since when did you care about what other manuscripts say? Now, also keep in mind that this example is a lot clearer than Brubaker's example, because the text actually makes sense. I mean, the grammar is still fine, the meanings are intact, plus there's a moral motivation to tamper with the text in order to support chastity, of course. Chastity, of course, being a trait that is despised by early Christians and Jews. I'm kidding. Now, in all seriousness, the full refutation is going to be coming out soon, inshallah. I'm going to let you guys know when it will be coming out and more details via my Twitter. Jazakallah khairan Akhi Mansoor for providing me with the manuscripts. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.